Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, whatever time it is for you. It is me, your host, Johnny Adams, and this is the Gibault Documentary, where I will take you around the school to interview several students, faculty members, and teachers about the question I had on my mind that day. What is your view of the culture at Gibault? Now, I wanted to ask this question because I wanted to get a better picture of what Gibault's culture truly is. So I took it upon myself to ask anyone and everyone I could.
I think there's a spirit of comfortability between teachers and students here that allows for a certain organicness, certain dynamic that's not always present in schools. And I think that what kind of emerges from that is a special respect for education and spirituality and service. I think the great example of that is one of my favorite parts of Gibault. That's the super fan section. I think one of the most important things about an education is believing that what you do matters. And when we have students and teachers that come together outside of school to support each other in these different events, people are able to hear that. People are able to be sensitive to that sort of sensibility. So I look forward to continuing to growing in all of these different things next year and see where the Lord takes us.
I like the smaller class sizes because you get to know everybody and the teachers are able to help you more personally.
The culture of Gibault is amazing. This is the best place for students anywhere to be, and I'm going to tell you why, because we are an inclusive school. When I say inclusive, we're very accepting. And what I've learned over the 15 years at Gibault is whatever your interests are, or whatever your goals are in life, and whatever your lifestyles are, when you come to Gibault, you're accepted. And you're accepted for who you are, and you're allowed to thrive, just allowed to thrive and be whoever you want to be here without judgment. And to me, that makes us really unique and really different. I think we also offer one thing at Gibault that other schools don't do, and that is, we say it all the time, but it's really true, our schedule empowers our students to make decisions, and it forces them to manage their time and really to grow up. Because if you don't manage your schedule here at Gibault, you will not be successful. So we're telling you before you leave, this is what you need to do, and you have to handle it. And what we'll see is by the time students are seniors, that they've really managed it, and when they send themselves off to college, they're in an amazing place, and they'll handle college really well. So, this is a great school, and the first thing I think of is, I hate to use the word inclusive because that when you say inclusive, that rings a bell in everybody's head to mean one certain thing. But when I think inclusive, I think it includes so many types of people, whether you're an athlete or a theater person, or if you're a great academic, or all three. This is a place for you to thrive, and a lot of times we just get out of your way and let you be successful.
I think that having smaller classes gives the teacher an opportunity to get to know us as a student. I can always count on the teachers for help if I don't understand something.
When I was in high school at Gibault, I knew I wanted to come back here after college to teach. The atmosphere, the classes offered, the faculty, the staff, and all of my friends just made my Gibault experience very special. I felt like I couldn't get what Gibault offered any other place. Any other high school wouldn't be as special as Gibault. I feel like the Gibault community is just one big family, and I'm really proud to be a part of that.
So the culture of Gibault is pretty cool. Everybody gets along pretty well. Everybody's friendly to each other. There's a lot of off time with our off mods, so we all get to hang out. And coming from a public school, the big difference is just how friendly everybody is. Everybody gets along. We're all great friends with each other, and we're just really good at winning at sports.
When I think of what you could possibly mean by culture at Gibault, or the Gibault culture, the first thing that comes to my mind is the word community. When I was a freshman at Gibault, Father Hustedy, our founding principal, he was the principal then, and he gathered our whole student body together in the auditorium for a big assembly. The whole student body was there. I was a freshman, and I remember him talking about vaguely communities. The theme of the talk was community. I don't remember any of the other details, but I just remember he kept coming back to the word community. And for the rest of my 4 years at Gibault, he often would come back to this idea of community. But it never sunk into me why that was so important. It finally began to make more sense to me after college when I came back here to teach. And it finally dawned on me what he was getting at. Because if you think about it, when you come here as a freshman, when you're coming from one of the many grade schools that feed into Gibault, think about how you feel when you're coming from those schools. You're coming into a whole new environment. You're mixing with people you've never met before. And so I can see why he would want to emphasize how we all have to come together and make this new community and work together. And there are so many ways at Gibault that helps us become a community. If you think about it, there's groups where students and your individual class that you're going to graduate with, the classes that you meet with every day, your math classes, your English classes, your history classes, those are all individual little communities. If you play sports, your team is a community. If you're in drama, if you're in theater, if you're in music, so all of those extra activities that Gibault provides give us even more ways of feeling like we belong to a special group. Then you can add on parent groups. Grandparents are involved with Gibault. Alumni become involved with Gibault. So it just ever widening group of ways that people can feel like they are a part of what Gibault is, the mission that is Gibault. So I think it's really important that the culture at Gibault makes a person feel like they are a part of a bigger purpose, a bigger, something bigger than themselves. And there's something about being part of that you can make a contribution to that, and that gives your life a whole higher level of meaning and fulfillment. It just adds so much to your life, and at the same time you're adding to all of those communities that you're a part of.
Okay, what makes the school like Gibault different? There are so many different things about Gibault that make it unique. One of the best things I think is the focus is actually on the student. It's not about, oh, do we have the highest scores? Do we have this? Do we have that? It's about making sure the kids get the best education that they need. The kids, when they come in, they're not all stuck in the same math class. They get to figure out where they need to go. So if you got a super smart math kid, you're not making them be remedial. You're pushing them and advancing them. And the kids who aren't on that track, there's so many different options. The scheduling is so kind of cool here, where the kids have the freedom to have time off during the day, to get their homework, to refocus, to study for a test later in the day. But it also lets the kids specialize in the things that they really enjoy, the things that they want to do. Do they want to be a photographer? Let's take the photography class. Do we want to do this? Do we want to do that? They can try a touch of a lot of different things that hopefully will help them when they go off to college to know, I took a psych class, I hated it, I don't want to go that route, I want to do something different. Or they find something that they truly do enjoy. A big thing about the culture of Gibault is something you don't see is the way we kind of empower the students to take control. We put a lot back on the students. We don't send notes home to the parents. It's the students' responsibility to talk to their parents, to get their things in on time, and that's teaching them how to grow up a little bit too. We don't spoon feed them, and some kids thrive, some kids struggle, but it's good for them. But it also instilled a sense of trust in the kids that we're trusting them and they need to step up. And I think that's something important about Gibault is that kind of thing, that we have for them. We're small. Some people say that's a benefit, some people say it's a detriment. You hear it both ways. I think here is really a benefit because smaller class sizes, the teachers know you. You know, you can go in for extra help in your off-mods, and also socially, our kids interact here with other grade levels. You don't only hang with your class. If you have, you have your theater crew, they're freshman through senior, and you'll see them hanging out. They'll say hi to each other in the halls. You know, you'll see freshmen and juniors sitting together in the cafeteria. That's something that's a little bit different about Gibault. I think people are a little more accepting, not by age, but by interest, and I think that's a blessing.
So I would describe Gibault as a hometown environment. It feels really close-knit, you know everyone. And if I had to choose one word to describe it, I'd say it's unique.
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 One word to describe Gibault. Unique. Winners.
One word to describe Gibault would be special.
Community centered.
Catholic.
Discover.
Lively.
If I had to describe Gibault in one word, I would probably say trust.